Why, hello, friend. Thank you for coming home with Mama T. I'm your host, Mama T, drinking a cup of tea today. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit more as we dig into embodiment and making things simple. I woke up thinking, in a space of like, all right, well, how do I get what I want? And the first thing that came to mind was, well, get sounds a little aggressive. If we are making things simple, the idea of like getting it, going after it, hustling for it feels a little opposite of the simplicity, right? If I am creating a life, and I am, do whatever you want to do in your life, in your experience. The purpose of these conversations is really about taking my experience and creating, like doing what you will with what the lessons I've learned to create the life that you desire for yourself. So if you like to hustle, if you like to grind, if you like to do all the things, by all means, get after it, honey. I am looking more towards the soft life, right? My dream of life is waking up in the morning, having a cup of water, next to my bed, sit my water down, take a deep breath, set some intentions for the day, get up, make a cup of tea, go sit on the balcony and just enjoy the sunshine, the nature, the whatever. And from there, see where the day takes me, right? Traveling the world, meeting new individuals, helping serve the community by helping people really live the life they desire. I feel like I come across so many people that feel victimized by their lives and their situations, and I really want us to come to a space where we kind of take ownership of our experience. And so that's what coming home is about for me, is just really taking ownership of what it is that I am desiring for myself. So if I am desiring the soft life, then why am I going to make it hard for myself? Right? So, the aesthetic I set up for myself between literally this morning, I jump out and I'm like, oh gosh, I got to empty the litter box because I'm house sitting for a friend, and I'm like, this is awful. I don't understand. Why does it smell so bad? And then I'm like, oh, well, one, it's not my cat, but if I had one, I think I would get an automatic litter box. I feel like I need to solve that problem, make it simple for myself. That's what I would do. Whatever, but that's not my experience in this moment, and that's fine. So what did I do? I was like, you know what, we're going to make it a fun experience. We're going to put on some smooth jazz because I'm still in a low-key, easy Saturday morning vibe. So we're putting on some smooth jazz. We are going to start some water brewing for a cup of tea, because I'm going to reward myself with a cup of tea after I clean this litter box. So yeah, we might have to go through things that we don't desire to experience on the regs. That is, a part of life, but we can always make it easier for ourselves. And that is very surface level aesthetic, creating the environment to cultivate this idea, which I find is super important, because the more we kind of cultivate the concept, it kind of goes back to that conversation I said before. I don't know if I said it here or if I posted it on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, but a friend had said there are kind of 4 stages in our spiritual journeys. The world is working against me. This is happening to me. This is happening for me is the next stage, where we kind of realize these cycles keep showing up to teach me a lesson. It's happening for me to grow and expand. And then there is it's happening through me. I am the creator, and it's still the first 3 kind of still give an outside source the power over us. And then it is me is the final stage. And that is the true becoming, right? The true settling in. I am the power is mine stage. And so part of creating the outside aesthetic is kind of giving us those visual points of awareness, these ideas to all all right, we're going to slow down, we're simplifying life, or do whatever it is, that you want to do. Like if you want to be a surfer, make sure have some surfing paraphernalia, accoutrement, if you will, in your space. Like putting these visual things in front of us really help us to settle in, because we are human, and humans, we have a tendency, or at least I know I do, have a tendency to have this seeing is believing mentality. So give ourselves those visual pinpoints, that's why I think vision boards are so powerful for people. I don't necessarily tend to use them because I will put them together. One, I think part of it is that I've done the magazine clipping version where you find a bunch of magazines or whatever, and nothing actually matches what I'm looking for. I'm just getting close to it, and so it doesn't really resonate. So one, I could probably spend a lot more time really cultivating a vision board that actually matches what I want. But I like to do it in meditation. So, visualize in that space so I can really, don't have to search the internet because I know I'm not a good drawer, all that kind of stuff. And so that's how I like to visualize what I'm wanting for myself, but also noticing as I'm going about my day, okay, am I making it hard? Take a deep breath. Let's slow down. Let's recalibrate. Let's put on some good music. Maybe, sometimes I have drum and bass playing in the background, and it's fun, it's upbeat, and but it's not doesn't really integrate my mind in the sense that there's lyrics or anything. So that's why I like it, because it's pump up, let's go. It's not going to put me to sleep. But sometimes if I'm going through situations and fires are coming up at work, I need to shift the energy and the music to something that's more calm, so that I can ground myself a little bit better. Does that make sense? There is totally a train coming by, so if you can hear that in the background, I'm super sorry. But yeah, so I need to maintain the vibration that I want, right? I am the vibration, and music for me is really helpful and being a point of awareness and where I am vibrating, and it shows me, and I've noticed that different things, or if I have something caffeinated in the morning and I start going through some stuff, I can feel it in my system so much more, in my body. I can catch it in my body a lot easier than if I'm just mentally going through it, and I there's no stimulus that's really aggravate. I feel pins and needles start in my body. I'm oh, that's a point right there to slow down, chill out, make it simple, right? And so why are we making it simple? Well, that is my desire. Do what you want. But as I'm exploring this simple word, I am coming to also understand what is it that I truly believe about myself and my experience as I am looking at what I want to create for myself. So, if you're new here, two of the things that I'm really focusing on and putting my energy towards is, one, building a thriving business so I can be an self-led, self-made entrepreneur, making my own money on my own time, creating more of a freedom lifestyle for myself. That's why I want to go the entrepreneur route, as well as love, finding a husband, getting married, having a life partner to share in these extraordinary experiences that I get to experience on a regular basis with. So with that, these are the two things that I'm focusing on. And they're, in my perspective, they're not little things, right? They are not getting a good parking spot. I find getting a good parking spot not even a thing or whatever. Literally, I've never been to this. I went to a tasting room yesterday because I was you know what? Bars are cool, and I definitely find it easier to meet people at a bar. But do I really want a bar guy? I want maybe a little air of sophistication. So I was you know what? I haven't gone wine tasting in a while, and I don't want to go to a wine bar where, the server doesn't know anything about wine. They just have wine and they work there and they're like figuring their life out or whatever, but it's like wines from all over the place. And like, so I find it's easier, even if the person working there isn't a wine aficionado or anything like that, if it's a specific spot where like they make the wine, or at least like they're importing the wine from the same vineyard, so it's like the same list, and they just learn that list and they don't have to like go overwhelm themselves with like 100 wines. It's a lot easier to at least have a little bit of a corked door conversation. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to a tasting room, and I'm pulling in, and this lot, even though it's a free parking lot in San Diego, can't complain. And I'm like looking at this lot and I'm starting to see people, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is like a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be in terms of like finding parking. And then I was like, whatever. I always find perfect parking. It's going to be fine. And like literally turn the corner, there is the spot wide open right next to the handicap spot that is right next to the tasting room. I could not have gotten a better spot. I could not have gotten a better parking spot. So I was just like, bless, honey, I got this, right? And so it's just like, now my mindset is like, how do I take the simplicity of that moment and apply it to these things that I find that are bigger? Ooh, the phrase bigger than me came to me, right? So like going back to those 4 stages, right? Like I am the things that I desire. I need to embody the things that I desire. So there's part of my answer. The how, I gotta I get to like explore figuring that out. I know when I think about the parking lot situation, it's just like I've become the parking. Like I've become finding good parking. It's like not even a question anymore. And I think part of that is the believability, right? The like really settling into, and the comfort, and there's nothing there. Like there's no emotional attachment, whether one way or another. And that is like the being of it, the grounding in of it. And so we get to that place with these other things in our lives and really start applying it there. Like when there's no emotional attachment, no making it be anything, if that makes sense. Like, yay, cool, like it gives me something to bring to like my content, but it doesn't make it like mean anything, if that makes sense. Like, oh, it doesn't make me like, I am now the social extreme, because that comes with its own like mental cloudiness for myself. I don't know. Like if I put that upon myself, then it becomes a sense of myself, and then I have to like worry about like upholding that standard, right? So when it has like no actual attachment other than like it is what it is just a fact. There's a fact, not an opinion. It is a fact, and it is that, and we can move on. That is where I feel like the magic really happens. It is a fact. And so as I'm exploring more and more about these different facts in myself and what I desire, I get to really like tap into, what do I believe, right? So going for the love side of things, if I am desiring a relationship, and one of the things, and I've talked about this like ad nauseum, I feel like, is, growing up overweight and having this constant fear and like constant desire for connection, while fearing that like no one's going to truly fully accept me because I am less than, based off of the fact that a few people told me that like, I'm disgusting, I'm whatever, blah, 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 blah. And now, yes, I've come to a place where like I see myself as beautiful and I believe that I'm beautiful, but that belief is great. But do I actually believe that other people think that I'm beautiful or beautiful enough? Like, I am aesthetically pleasing to some. Like, I can believe that, like, that's fine or whatever. And there are people that don't find me aesthetically pleasing, and I'm totally okay with that. Do I necessarily want to hang out with the people that find me unattractive? Probably not either. So, like, I am now becoming the me that really is believing in the attraction of, there are magnificent people out there that also find me attractive, right? And that I find attractive. I think that's something that also is like working itself out in me, is that like, okay, well, like, I can see that people find me pleasing, but like usually my experience is that, I'm pleasing to the eye, but not like enough to like get the person that I think. So that's a belief that I have to work through and change and get to reprogram in myself. And so that's something that's coming up. So the next step for me is just really like, okay, like in the becoming, it's like I am the person that finds the perfect person for me, right? Like, they are attractive to me. Their actions are something that helps me feel loved, and so I can make it very simple, right? Like, it doesn't have to be this paragraph of litany of words to like hype myself up. I know that I attract the perfect person for me. I attract the perfect people into my business, and I make it simple. I don't have to, create a list of like ways that they are perfect so that I can, because I know for myself, when I start creating these lists of like, oh, my ideal customer is this, and this, I start coming from like, what am I afraid of in a customer, their complaints, their whatever, like, and then so I try to like create personality traits that would negate whatever it is that I'm afraid of, and that like creating from fear is not where we want to be, right? So we just get to like see what we really believe, right? So I have that surface level, though, the coming from me kind of, or like working for me idea of like, right, that's where I feel like it is like the victim state is that like nobody finds me attractive, everybody hates me, and I'm fat, and so therefore I'm ugly, and and like whatever. And then the next level would be the, what, I think I'm pretty. I look in the mirror and, I have great skin. I have like a wonderful smile. A lot of money was invested into braces and all that shit. Like my smile is awesome. Your girl's got LASIK, so I don't have to wear contacts anymore. Like all this stuff. Like, and I can, I have the ability to do really cool things with my hair and put jewelry in it and whatever. So like, I know how to make myself look good. I know how to use makeup really well, at least for my skin tone and for my shape. Like, I got this, right? Like, I look good when I go out at night, when I'm going out to a party, whatever, like, I know I look good, and I have people tell me I look good. And so that is not the question. That being said, a lot of the people that tell me I look good, I don't necessarily find myself attracted to. And so that is where my experience is reflecting my belief structure, right? Like, I believe that I'm attractive. I believe that like people can find me attractive, but do I believe the people that I want to find me attractive will find me attractive? And I do think that looks are important when we're looking for a life partner, because like that's like that first, like I talked about visuals earlier, that first connection. And then we move on to like, the deepening, the 3 deepening for Bob's Burgers fans. We move in a little bit deeper on the emotions and everything, and it all kind of integrates and levels itself up. So with all of that, this is the exploration that I'm digging into, and I am enjoying sharing with you. So we're going to talk about more and more about this embodiment of love and this embodiment of creating a thriving business. And I'm bringing you along on this journey. Like, this is me coming home, and I'm inviting you into my home. That being said, we do have the home membership that I am also inviting you to join. And so in that membership, you have the opportunity to share what your intentions are, right? we can cultivate a plan of action. Not really a plan of action, because that's hard. Right? We're going for the simple, right? We're looking for the soft life. So especially if you're looking for the soft life, definitely come home with me, right? So we are going to create a safe space and cultivate a place and points of awareness for what you are intending to experience in your life. That is where this magic is happening. And I find that it's super awesome to be able to do it as a part of a community, because it holds ourselves accountable. It really helps to get other eyes and other ways to communicate what it is that we desire, so we can refine and like best align ourselves with what it is that we want to experience in our life. So come on home, lay down your baggage, get comfy and get cozy, and let's do it. Make sure that you're paying attention and have like notifications turned on for both the podcast and all of the social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. So you can, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff in all those places, and be on the lookout for upcoming events. I know that this episode is going to post after the event, but having a full moon virtual party, that's something to expect within the home membership. But for the month of August, it is going to be open to the general public. Moving into September, that will be shifting into the private home community. I have to double check what the date of the full moon is. If it happens before the 4th, it'll be public. If it happens after the 4th, then it'll be private to our home community. So with that, looking forward to seeing you and hearing from you and loving on you. Ta-ta for now.